Oh, fuck. That shouldn't be the first word I say on this. Okay. There's none here. Wait. Hello. Surprise. I'm back. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh boy. What a Christmas and New Year I've had. So, hello everyone. And I know this might be a bit of a surprise to see me. But I'm back. This isn't me returning to YouTube. This is just, well, more of an announcement, really, because I haven't had time to do it. But yeah, I thought I felt bad about leaving, so I wanted to sort of come back and at least say hi and give you a Q&A. And yeah, we'll see about the future. But yes, I've really missed doing the movie reviews, and I know a lot of you were sad to not see my top 5 list this year, well, end of last year now, because we're in 2024. But Happy New Year! I also thank Nick Payne for the beer. He got me this for Christmas. So the reason for this really is to promote my other channel. So a lot of you who have missed me probably don't know that I have a second YouTube channel, and it's called Pajak Productions. I don't know if I can screen share. Oh, I can. Let me do that. If I'm going to be completely honest, I never wanted to leave YouTube. It was a logistical problem with having too much going on that prevented me from having any time to do so. So I'll go through basically all of that soon enough. So please be patient with me. But before we begin, oh god, I can't share screens. Why can't I share screens? Why is this so annoying? Let's see if I can share this. So I'm sharing my own screen. Oh god, this is so weird. I don't know if anyone can see this, but I have got my other channel in view. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh no, I think you can see it, judging by this. So if you can see this, this is my other channel, Pajak Productions. I've got 105 subscribers, 58 videos. In short, a selection of films directed and produced by myself. That is pretty much what this channel is. It is a filmmaking channel. It has some of my uni work on it, as well as my Bond movies, bloopers from my movies, behind the scenes of the Bond movies, and behind the scenes of my upcoming film, Financial Temptation. So just to guide you through, there's some playlists, events. I got my friend Nick to film a speech at the Bond screening, so I I delivered a speech to commemorate the end of my Bond trilogy. There's a few trailers there as well. Not that that's entirely relevant now, until I post a trailer for my new film. There's a whole Bonding trilogy behind the scenes playlist, which includes videos that I have created as well as actually, I do need to add Nick Payne's behind the scenes stuff as well. There's interviews, there's various different things. But I think what you're more interested in are the films themselves. And I promise I'll get to the questions in the chat shortly. I just wanted to quickly go through what you will see here. So, the films that I have produced, there's only 13 of them. And obviously, oh, shut up. Don't do that. So, some of these are very short, tiny things that I made back in my first college. But the main ones I want to show you are, of course, my Bond movies. So the first one, Family Bonding, that was my level 3 final project. It's not the best. It is a little bit amateur. There are some visual and continuity errors, but it's 20 minutes long. Do check it out if you're interested. Then these two bad boys, which have 1K views, Christmas Bonding, which is 1 hour, 3 minutes. That's the sequel to this one, which I made as a side project a year later. Because people liked the first one, and I got loads of my actor friends to be in it. And then this mammoth, this is kind of the creme de la creme, really, of my channel. 50 slices of bonding. Don't let the title put you off. It is obviously a parody, and it's out there. But hopefully you'll enjoy the fact that this one actually has an Aston Martin in it. So I highly encourage you to watch them if you're Bond fans. It is one story in 3 parts, so I hope you enjoy. The third one is very long, but please do subscribe and leave me some comments. I would love to hear feedback. Even if you don't think they're all that, I would love to hear constructive feedback. I'm always looking to improve. It's what I want to do. I want to be in the film industry and always continue to grow as a filmmaker. But please do leave me your thoughts. That would be much appreciated. The Truth Inside. This was a drama, sci-fi. It's kind of a bit Doctor Who-esque, but it's also an emotional drama about 3 friends that find a walkie-talkie, and they have to uncover the mystery of this evil organization which is going to take over the planet. But there's also an emotional core to it. So yeah, I made this with a few friends. This was my graduation film for my last college. I'm not particularly happy with some of the things I've done for this film, but it was better than some of the earlier work. Food, Glorious Food. This is my animated film. I made this as a stop motion project in front of a green screen. The animation is very rough, I'll warn you, and there are probably too many characters in this film, too many voice actors, but what the heck. I even voiced a character in it as well. I would love to have another go at animation in the future, but it would take a long time. It's going to be a laborious project. So forgive me on that one. Again, some of this is not going to be perfect, but it's all part of the learning curve. So do obviously bear with on that. But hopefully you enjoy it. It is a comedy, and it's a family comedy. I should point out the Bond films are parodies. So if you've seen the skits I did with Jack the Film Fanatic, they're kind of based on that. So credit to Jack the Film Fanatic. These ones here, Parting of the Ways, Survival, Brothers Trust, Interrogation, they're all just little short films that I made. They don't really mean much. They're just there to kind of demonstrate some of my work that I did in my previous course. I was tasked with creating like very short things just to improve technical skills and loads of little things. We weren't really guided much on how to do that. Our tutor just said, you need to make some more things. I'd rather see this level of quality rather than a long film with more errors. Yes, it was a bit of a weird one. Getting to the uni work now. Confinamento, which is an Italian neorealism film, and it's completely silent. There's no dialogue. It's all visual storytelling. It's a very basic edit. It's with one actress. It's probably the simplest film I've ever made. And it was shot in my house. And it's about, believe it or not, it's about COVID. It's about the lockdown. So yeah, but it's not all doom and gloom. But it was, again, I made it to demonstrate some understanding of storytelling. Because if I chose to do one of the other, how can I put it, one of the other eras of film, that would have been, or different ages of film, that would have been very difficult. So if I were to have done German Expressionism, that would have been technically very ambitious. If I were to have done French New Wave, I probably would have struggled with that as well. So this, to me, was the simplest one. But maybe I'll try the others at some point. Interval. This is a documentary film about me. And it's about my experience through lockdown and the amateur theatre stuff that I do in my personal life. So you do see glimpses of the shows I've done through imagery, and obviously there's interviews in there. It is a very personal story to me, and I'm very proud of it. And I've used it a lot to kind of motivate myself as I'm trying to improve my life journey. So yeah, I don't consider documentary to be my forte, but I'm glad I made it with the group I did. And also I should point out The Effects of Cyberbullying is also a documentary that I made back in the early years. And finally, Question Time. This is the most recent one I've done. And this one is a drama about a celebrity who is a social media influencer who sends out very contradictory messages to her followers. And as a result, she is kind of brought into this interview, which is a setup. It's a setup because it's actually an interrogation. And she's being trialed for a crime that happened as a result of her words. One of her followers gets attacked, and then Layla, who's the character, she has to prove her innocence in regards to what she did and what she said. around that time. So that's about it, really. That's my filmmaking portfolio so far. There's yet to expand, of course, because I do have a final project to do, which I'm thinking about for for my uni. I say there's gag reels for the Bond movies. I say there's behind the scenes for the Bonding trilogy. There's Financial Temptation. This is the new film that's coming up. Uh, I've got two quite long vlogs of what we've done so far, and there's two interviews. So that will expand as and when. But yeah, so I hope you like the look of what you see. I will leave the link to this channel in the description when this is all processed. But please do tell me what you think about it when you subscribe. So please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you could give me constructive feedback, that would be fantastic. If you're a Bond fan, please check out the Bond films. There might be a car in one of them. So anyway, yeah, the new year, the last half of the year has been quite a difficult experience for me. I won't lie. I have had some trouble with YouTube, and which is why I quit, because I just did not have the time nor the energy to do reviews. I was in the middle of recording a review for The Creator. I saw that movie twice. Both times I'd fallen asleep during the middle of it in the cinema. And I'm not sure whether that was because I wasn't enjoying the film or whether it was because I was very tired. I choose to see it as the latter, and I know the movie is now on Disney Plus, and I just thought, I can't keep up with this. I'm not keeping up with the rate at which I'm having to see movies, review them, edit them, do my job, do my uni work, do my shows. It just got too much. So it was mainly for mental health reasons. And I feel really sorry for you guys, because I know you are all devout followers, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, before you ask, and I know that some of you are going to ask me, am I coming back to YouTube? The answer is maybe. But the main reason why I'm saying to go to my other channel is because I'm going to be actively doing more stuff on that. So if I do more reviews, I might move them to the other channel to make life easier. I'll leave these reviews up, of course. You can watch this content for as long as you want. I'm not going to delete it unless I feel really embarrassed by certain videos, or if I feel like, or if there's a copyright issue. But I'll try and keep the original content up as much as I can. And also, yes, I have seen the new Doctor Who, and I will give my thoughts on that. I spent Christmas with my family, but recently my job has just completely fallen to shit. My manager got fired, and a lot of responsibility has been dumped on me, and I was feeling that anyway, even before my manager got fired. So I had to sort of make a big decision, and my mental health has not been the best recently. I have struggled a bit. I'm not going to lie. Been feeling quite down and low and sleep deprived, to be quite honest. So I am on the lookout for another temporary, like part-time job while I finish my uni, because I'm in the final two terms of my uni. I've really got to put more effort into that. So I am officially resigning from my job at the end of this month, or the start of February, which is just before my birthday. So yeah, that's the plan as such. If I am to do reviews again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them as regularly. I might be able to do the odd review here and there. I might have to experiment with style, maybe change things up a bit. Maybe it might have to be more basic. Maybe it might be more ambitious, but that means they'll be less frequent. I don't know. There's got to be some give and take, but I need time to work that out. But I thought in the meantime, let's give you guys another chance to have a nice Q&A. I thought this would be a great surprise, and I think that you guys are owed something from me. So this is it. Cheers. Oh, God. 2024. Fuck. I'm going to be 27 next month. Fucking hell. If I don't get on with my life by the time I'm 30, then there's really something wrong. I don't know what happened to Jack's channel. I don't really follow Jack's channel anymore. I mean, I wish the guy well, but I mean, me and Jack sort of fell out. I won't go into the argument now, but yeah, we ended up not being that compatible as friends. But I'm nothing personally against the guy. I do wish him well, but I hope he's okay. Oh yes, I did see the trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm hyped. I don't know if it's going to be as good as the first three or the others. I think it will be very solid. I just hope that the dialogue is natural and it's not cringy and it's not overused, because I liked the fact that even though the apes did talk a bit more as the new trilogy went on, it never felt like it was too much. Like even in War for the Planet of the Apes, which is my favorite, it's one of my favorite movies. I really hope that it's on kind of that level where it's done with a purpose. You know, they should only talk if the dialogue is necessary to help tell the story. But film is a visual medium, so less is more. That's my idea anyway. But I am looking forward to seeing it. I think it is going to be really good, and great to see the apes back on screen again after so long. You know, I'm so pumped. Please re-release the other ones. Please re-release the other ones. Please. I have an unlimited card from Cineworld now. Cinema's much cheaper for me. Yay! Because my local cinema shut down earlier last year. About summer last year, my local cinema closed. So I now have to go to another town just outside of my town, and it's a Cineworld. So I got the unlimited card. So it saves me so much money. Honestly, it's brilliant. It's a bargain. I've already spoken about my plans and movie reviews, so I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, like I said, I might well review things on the other channel. That is a plan, potentially. Oh yes, Jared, you did see Interval. Thank you for the comment. I've not seen Godzilla -1. I might potentially see it, but I'm not in a rush to see it. Oh, bless you, Doug. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you too, the one. Maybe this year we'll find out who the next James Bond is. I mean, Babs and Mickey, it's not like we've been waiting since 2021. Duh! Do you think you'll work on any other big franchises after your Bond trilogy? Well, I've actually finished the Bond trilogy. I finished it, coming up to 2 years now. Nearly 2 years ago. Sorry, let me just check the work chat. Sorry, it's important because my manager's gone. I have to be sort of... But that's fine. Thank you for the update. Bless him. It's good of him to do that. Anyway, so like I said, I've done with the Bond trilogy. I finished that in 2022, and that was before I started uni. So I was in a relatively good place by the time I was starting uni. I'm currently working on Financial Temptation, which is a feature film. So it's hopefully going to film most of that this year, depending on how scheduling goes for the filming. But I've got a lot of people involved, and it's going to shape up. So that will be the next big thing. But after that, I might do some short films. I might just not do so many big projects. It depends. I mean, if I can get Financial Temptation into a festival, then maybe I'll have the chance to go further with certain things. But it really depends. I mean, filmmaking is a difficult industry to get into. I mean, no matter what happens in the future, even if I have to do some other job, I'll still be making films on the side. And that's what I've said to myself. I now know the routes to get in, or some of the routes to get in. The likelihood of getting in, obviously, is, it's a bit of pot luck, really, and hard determination. I've accepted the fact that, it's going to be a tough road. I think when I was younger, I was more naive about it, and I thought that something would just come along. But no, I do have to sort of put the effort in. So we'll see. Jack hid his channel. Oh, okay. That's a shame. Maybe he's quit. I didn't know about that. I did see Wonka. Yes, I enjoyed it. It gave me Paddington vibes. And I say that because obviously the same people who made the Paddington films made Wonka. David Heyman, who produced Harry Potter, was the main producer for it. I thought the humor and the script felt very similar. That's what I mean. Paddington vibes. It had that sort of British charm, British humor, but it also had the nostalgia for the Gene Wilder film, which I really did appreciate. Although I wasn't that keen on Timothée Chalamet. I'm not going to lie. I found Timothée Chalamet to be something of a, not disappointment, but I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more of the kind of weirdness of Wonka. I just kind of got a very plain performance. There was nothing really overtly wrong with what he was doing, but it just felt very ordinary to me. And Willy Wonka is an eccentric character, and I didn't really get the eccentricities from Chalamet. But, you know, I don't think he's a bad actor. He's pretty good in Dune, so I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2. But, you know, if they do another Wonka film, I'll watch it. do 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 do. Do 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 do. Best Godzilla movie. Oh, that's good. I liked Godzilla versus Kong, but I find all the Godzilla films to be kind of the same. So, you know, maybe I'll watch it. I'll watch it on streaming. I don't think I'll watch it in the cinema. Who or what would you say the biggest inspirations for filmmaking? Well, I think it's down to a lot of things, really. Like, mainly I would say Peter Jackson for Lord of the Rings. Those movies just blew me away ever since I was 9 years old. And I thought, whoa, if someone can make that, you know, and then watching the behind the scenes of how much passion they put into it, you just think, wow, that is incredible. I would love to do that. I've always been somewhat creative. I just didn't realize it till I was about 11. I was quite shy. I was a little bit introverted. I still am in some respects to this day, but less so. I also was hugely into Harry Potter. I still am. Harry Potter was a big part of my childhood, and it was such a magical, obviously, experience, pun intended. That always inspired me. The fact that you could literally bring magic to life on screen. You know, the idea of doing something creative and being paid for it, you know, that was very appealing. And I got into acting when I was quite young as well. And the idea of creating a character as well. Just the idea of creating things, really. But I think if I was to choose one thing that inspired me, it was definitely Lord of the Rings and Peter Jackson, without question. And then as I began to see more films, I began to kind of just get so wrapped up in it. And going to the cinema when I was young, I used to go to the cinema loads with my family when I was young. Every time I came out the cinema, I'd ask my mum and my dad, who's your favorite character? What was your favorite bit? So that was me. That was, I guess, from the off, it was always inclined in my brain that I was interested. So yeah, I guess me going to study film was, I guess they kind of saw it coming, really, my parents. And I don't regret it. And never in a million years did I think I'd ever make a feature movie, you know, before I even got to the industry. That's pretty damn impressive, I think. And, you know, becoming an actor in the Amdram community has allowed me to network with actors. And I've been allowed to use a lot of my friends as well who are actors. So life has really thrown me some good opportunities. Let's put it that way. And no matter what happens, I'm grateful for what I've had so far. And yeah, I mean, if I make it to the industry, obviously I'm gonna have to work my way up somehow. But yeah, if I ever got to meet Jackson, I would love to shake his hand and say thank you so much, because, you know, Lord of the Rings totally changed the way I look at film. And they are some of the best movies ever made because of the passion that went into them. Not a lot of movies have that. It's all, oh, studio driven money, just throw anything on screen and that'll be fine. But no, they care. If you care about what you're making, then people will resonate with that. And I've tried to apply that to all I've made. It's not always worked, but, you know, you got to keep trying. And that's the thing. Happy New Year, Jermaine. It's all right, other than my work stress. It's fine. You can show me your ranking wherever you like. I mean, I could just check it on your channel. If you want to post the link here, then that's fine. It's up to you, man. If you were getting into fan-made animation, who would you want to do voiceover acting? Well, this is going to sound totally pretentious and vain, but myself. Honestly, I don't wish to brag, of course, but I have been known to do voice acting. I actually have done voice acting through my amateur theatre. Last year, I did Little Shop of Horrors, and I voiced the plant. You know, the one that goes, "Feed me, Seymour, feed me now, feed me, Seymour," and the one that sounds like Barry White. So that was fun. And this January, and then in a week, actually, I'm going to be performing in a panto. In England, we have this show called Pantomime, which happens around Christmas, January, where the audience interact. But off stage, I'm voicing a giant because of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's Jack and the Beanstalk. So I'm doing a voice like this. It's very low. It's the giant. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. So it's kind of unusual. It's the first time I've acted off stage. But I've also, if any of you are my close friends who I've messaged privately, you'll know that I do impressions. I've done impressions on this channel as well. If you wish to go and check them out, I've loved doing those. They were great fun. So yeah, I'm looking into doing that freelance if I can, because it's great fun. Any excuse to do voice acting, and I'll be there. The only time I ever got paid to do voice acting was in the lockdown. There was this thing for like a sat nav or something, to record a voice for a sat nav. I got paid £25 for it, but I had to sound a bit like this: at the roundabout, take the first exit to the right. I mean, I can't remember exactly what you had to say, but it was along those lines, and I got paid for it, which was nice. Favorite film of 2023? Oh gosh, that is a question. Oh my gosh, I think The Whale was certainly up there. But I did enjoy Across the Spider-Verse. If you're about to ask me what my least favorite movie of 2023 is, oh dear. There's quite a few, because there was a few rants that I did. Maybe The Flash. I don't know. There may have been one that was worse. I mean, I didn't see the third Trolls movie, so I suppose if I do see that, that will be the choice. But Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was pretty bad as well. Indiana and his old bag of bones, as I call it. Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, no, Across the Spider-Verse, very good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a real shame. I hope you're okay, and please don't feel forced to type if it's going to hurt you. I mean, I wish they could allow you to send voice messages on here, because then you could do that. But wait till you're healed, and I'm sure I'll come back at some point with another Q&A. I'm glad you enjoyed Wonka. I thought it was pretty good. I've already talked about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes trailer earlier, so you can go back and look at look at the start of the stream when this is all uploaded. Fuck off. I'm going to remove this person. Jeez Louise, what is it with people these days? Oh, glad you enjoyed Jack and the Beanstalk. I hope it was good. Yes, I have seen Aquaman 2. Honestly, it was okay. I didn't think it was amazing. The first one was a lot better. This one had loads of action in it, and it felt like that was all it could do, because the story was honestly quite weak. The story was just very blasé, very much generic. Not much going on. I mean, I did like seeing Orm and Arthur's, friendship, or sorry, siblingship, or whatever you call it, sibling rivalry explored a bit more, but it was quite dull. Some of the humor was funny, don't get me wrong, but other times it didn't land. It was a very mixed bag. I'd probably give it a pass, saying that it was a fun time, but I really don't care much for it. Oh, why don't these people just fuck off? Oh yes, I'd love to do the voice for Primeval. Funny enough, I've talked with a friend of mine called Louis. I don't know if you're watching this, Louis, but we we have talked about rebooting Primeval, and rewriting it, for a new age. So I would love to do that if we ever got the chance. So if I ever set my own production company up, I'll see if there's access to the rights to show, or maybe approach ITV and pitch it. I'd love to be involved in bringing that show back, because there's still such a big fan base for it, more than people realize. I mean, don't get me wrong, series 4 and 5 are crap, but series 3 was all right, but mixed bag, very messy. But the first 2 series were brilliant. So there's a way to get it back to how it was, but it's it is what it is for now. Why can't these people fuck off? God's sake. Jesus, I'm so sorry about the chat. I don't know what's going on. There's people saying they're trying to hack me, but whatever. I mean, I don't have time for that, whoever you are. I'm so sorry. I have other things to do. I've got other people I'd rather speak to in this chat. So sorry, guys, about all that. But whatever. I mean, effectively, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not really doing much on this channel anymore. So if you hack me, then You know, I'm not going to be paying much attention to it. So, whatever. Jesus Christ. What is up with all this? This is not fun. Right, that's being reported. Okay. Oh, fuck off. God's sake. So sorry, guys. There's some technical issues at the moment. Leave me alone. I don't need this right now. Okay. Right. I mean, more of these messages may well pop up, so sorry about that. What would be your ideal picture of a future Jurassic World movie? I think I'd reboot the thing, you know, honestly. Like, I had this thought that Jurassic World Dominion would end very differently than how it did. Don't get me wrong, I like the movie, but I feel like the ending played it very safe. I honestly would have been brave with that ending. I would have actually killed all the humans off, and then the dinosaurs would rule the earth again. So it kind of ties around like it's 65 million years. So I would pitch a movie with that ending so that it's almost like the evolutionary cycle comes back round. And I think that would be better because they're not, you know, they were too afraid to kill anyone off, and they had everybody survive. And it just, I don't know, to me, it just felt uninspired, that ending. It's like, oh, now we have to learn to coexist with the dinosaurs. Well, that was the ending of Fallen Kingdom, and look how that worked out. So it's never going to work. It was just, they did that so they could have room for more movies. But you could still do more movies if you got rid of all the cast and started with a new cast in a reboot. That's what you could have done. A bit like No Time to Die, you know, kill them off and then do a reboot. You know, I honestly think that would be better, because this timeline with the 6 films, it's kind of done. It's kind of done. There's not much more they can do. So I honestly think, you know, I think they don't need to. What is wrong with? Go away! Why can't you fuck off and leave me alone? God's sake! Sorry, guys. Why? I don't know if anyone else is seeing this, but I keep getting these messages saying I'm going to be hacked. Whoever you are, just please leave me alone. I have not done anything to you. Hi Ross, Happy New Year. Nice to see you too. I hope you had a good time. I haven't actually seen Mickey Mouse's Mousetrap. I mean, I'd like to see it. I don't know. Maybe. Let me just tell these hackers to fuck off. The film course is good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm waiting for a grade. My work is still being marked, so pray for a 2-1 or a first. I hope for at least a 2-1, but we'll see. What was the film of the year for 2023? Oppenheimer's definitely a choice. You know, that was a very good one. Probably The Whale, as I said earlier. Maybe The Whale was my favorite. What are you most looking forward to in 2023? Well, I wish I could say. If you'd have asked me that last year, I would have said losing weight, because as you probably have seen since some of my videos from 2 or 3 years ago, I have lost some weight, and I'm trying to maintain that. But obviously with Christmas, it's been a little bit difficult. So yeah, I'll try to continue and go into a better routine. But I've got this to drink first. Fact is, I know it's bad. I didn't have breakfast this morning because I work at 5:30 in the morning till 12. I had a protein shake, and then I had to wait a while before having lunch because there was issues with work, and I don't get a break at work now, so I had to wait till way after work to have a decent meal. This is partly why I've got to leave my job. Its effect on the physical, mental health is just not good. But what am I looking forward to in 2024? Getting out of this job, hopefully getting a new one, hopefully finishing uni, possibly learning to drive. We'll see how it goes. Just trying to progress in my life in different ways. That's what I'd love to do. Honestly. Go away. These pricks. Was my least favorite film of 2023. Potentially The Flash. That was rubbish. I didn't like that. Also, Indiana Jones. I didn't like that at all. Indiana and his old bag of bones, as I call it. I haven't seen Napoleon yet. I must confess, I've not heard very good things about it. Are you still at WH Smith? Yes, but I'm leaving at the end of the month because we've lost our manager. She got fired, and I was already doing quite a lot of hours, and it was getting intense. And now I've got even more responsibility. I'm not staying to become a deputy manager. I'm not getting the responsibility increased even more. Not when I'm at uni. If I wasn't at uni, I could ride it out and then look for another job. But right now, I just can't. I'm still looking for a job, but I have to go. It's just too much of a mess to deal with. So I don't need it. So I'm leaving. But I've been there for almost 2 years, so it's not like I've just started or anything. I've not seen the Winnie the Pooh film, but I've not heard good things. Favorite Harry Potter character? Severus Snape. Honestly, Severus Snape, because of how much he went through, and throughout everything, he was the good guy, and he still loved Lily after all this time. Always. Do you like electronic music in movies? In movies? In movies. If done well, yes. Not like what was it? The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they had the blah 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 blah, the dubstep. Yeah, that was unnecessary. Seriously. Yeah, the thing is, like, with Primeval, it's basically ITV's version of Doctor Who. So, effectively, you could bring old characters back if you bring them back from a different point in time. I've always had the idea of doing a Primeval episode where they go into an anomaly of their own timeline. I mean, I know they kind of do that in series 1 with the whole Captain Ryan thing, but it would be, I mean, obviously it might be a little bit convoluted, so you have to be careful not to get too confusing. But, if they become their own enemies, how does that work? That would be quite fun. But yeah, no, that's a good idea. Oh, for God's sake. There's one person using many different accounts, obviously. Oh, good. Yeah, WH Smith it's not a bad place to work. Like, I don't hate the job. I just hate the situation that's in the job at the moment. Whatever the manager did to get herself sacked, it's left us in a real mess. So I'm not staying to clear it up. So they need to get a new manager in and sort it out. I did see Wonka. I spoke about the movie earlier, so you can hear my thoughts when you replay the stream. Yeah, The Flash was hugely disappointing. Speaking of convoluted, that was the definition of convoluted. And I'm not an Ezra Miller fan after what he's done. He's not a bad actor, but considering what happened, I'm amazed that they were able to sell this film. I mean, they only could because of Michael Keaton, and even then, Keaton's not in it that much. So, and the fact you have to watch 2 versions of Ezra Miller for 2.5 hours next to each other doesn't bode well. Let's put it that way. Do you think James Gunn's DC universe even has a chance to succeeding? Possibly. Gunn did a good job with The Suicide Squad. I did enjoy that movie, and he did very well with the Guardians of the Galaxy films for Marvel. I have faith the guy knows what he's doing. It's not gonna, it's gonna piss some people off. It's not gonna work for everybody, but I think it definitely is time for the DC films to have a sense of direction. They have felt very directionless. Not to say that they all have to incoherently tied together. I'm not saying that, but a sense of where all these movies are going and why they are a universe would be nice. They have to connect in some way. They have to build to something. But it just seems like they're just, for me, a journey to where. Where are these movies going? And that's why they don't work. There's no planning. Marvel, at least, I mean, they're not perfect, but they certainly have a plan of where they want to lead things. Like with the first phase, well, the first few phases, it was leading to Thanos and the whole, you know, half the universe being wiped out, the blip, you know, whereas DC, it was like trying to lead to Justice League, but then it got all messy because the films weren't very good, and then it all just kind of fell apart, really. So if James Gunn has like an overall arc for how many movies that they're going to do and how where this is all going to lead, then that's good. They just need to start respecting what the fans want. Not all the DC films are bad, but there's quite a few that are very disappointing. So they really need to up their game. That's all I'll say. And try new things. Don't always do the same generic shit. You know, if you're going to have a simple premise, do something fun with it. You know, don't just do, you know, oh, this person needs saving, let's save them. Or this person wants to destroy the world or rule the world. You know, do more than that. Come on. Thoughts on Gladiator 2? Well, none, because the movie's not out yet. Also, I haven't even seen the first one. So I need to watch the first one before I answer that question. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to answer that. But I'm glad they're making it. Happy New Year. Oh, hi, Harry. Oh, sorry, no. Have I seen The Crown? No, I haven't seen it. Sorry. But would Barbie make the top 10? Honestly, not. As much as I enjoyed the film, it was good. I only gave it a 7 out of 10. So to make the top 10, it really has to be a 10 out of 10 film. I have to give it the full perfect score. And whilst Barbie was good, I definitely have reservations with it. So I'm afraid, sorry, it's not going to be on the top 10, but it's not going to be on the top 10 worst. So don't worry about that. It's in the middle. It's a decent effort. But I know you love it. So respect to you for that. Oh, for God's sake. I'm sick of these messages. Whoever keeps doing this, if you don't fucking stop, I honestly will call the police. This is ridiculous. No. Maybe before it was cancelled, they might have tried to do that. You can tell that series 4 and 5 were designed to be one series, but the way they edit was weird. Maybe because of airtime, they had to split it into two. Because it does feel like series 4 doesn't really end on a final note. It's just a cliffhanger. So it feels like series 5 is series 4 part 2. And even then, series 5 ends with a cliffhanger which never was resolved. But by that point, the show was so convoluted and so lost. It just didn't know where it was going. And then, you know, introducing two Matts, it was really confusing, hard to follow. The only good thing about Series 5 was that it finally brought Abby and Connor to the point of being married. They were going to get married. So I was happy about that. And Lester made it all the way to the end. But other than that, Series 4 and 5 were just so disappointing. You know, Primeval did become very repetitive. And I think that if it's going to be rebooted, it's got to be rebooted in a way that is refreshing, arced out properly, no pun intended. And it's got to have some sense of direction. Like the whole New Dawn thing was just weird. Like, how can you man make anomalies? You don't even understand what they are. How can you make something that you don't understand? That's why Series 5 fails for me, because it doesn't understand what it's trying to do. But whatever, it's done now. But if they did a Series 6, or if it's rebooted, then that will all change. Happy New Year. Oh, I think I know who you are. Yes, I remember you. Yes, that was a while ago. Yeah, I remember. Thank you for that. If you won't see me in there for much longer. I'm my last day is the 3rd of February, which is before my birthday. Yay! So the next day is my birthday. Thank fuck. And then I can, you know, hopefully, hopefully, I will have a new job by then. But we'll see. Thoughts on Kingdom taking place 300 years after Caesar trilogy? Yeah, I didn't know that until earlier today. I watched Harry Thomas's discussion. Well, I think his top 10 most anticipated films, and he talked about that, and I was like, oh, I thought they were just going to carry on with Cornelius, but no, they're choosing a whole new protagonist. That's something nice. That's refreshing. So they're not going to tie it directly into the original film, which is why. But obviously, that's not going to happen. Interesting. I'm definitely more intrigued about it. Do you think Kingdom could be the longest Planet of the Apes film? Maybe. I don't know what the runtime will be, but I suspect it could be maybe similar to War. War was 2 hours 20 minutes, which is currently the longest. If this one goes beyond that, then it will be the longest, but we'll see. I don't think the Tim Burton film was longer than 2 hours, if I remember. Oh, God, it felt longer. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, where am I got? Sorry, there's so many spam messages that I've lost exactly where I am. I've done that part. Let's do. What 2024 film are you most looking forward to? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, by far. Also, Inside Out 2. Favorite part of Left Behind in Last of Us? Oh gosh, I love the all the moments that Riley and Ellie spend together. When they're shooting the water guns. I love that. The kiss is nice too. I think the photos are the best bit. Because that really emphasizes later on the tragedy. You really get to know their friendship in just that one sort of section of the story. And then when the worst happens, it is genuinely heartbreaking. And the way the show did it as well was also very true to how the game does it. Sorry, I have to go on mute for a second. I probably will have to stop shortly because I have dinner. What is your favorite so bad it's good movie? Oh God. There is a comedy film that I really like that is so bad that it's sort of good. It's called Norbit. Some of the humor is borderline racist, but I can't help but laugh at it. I don't know why. It's the one with Eddie Murphy. He plays like three characters in a similar vein to the Nutty Professor movies. Those sort of movies are kind of so bad they're good. They're a bit cringy in terms of Eddie Murphy playing all these characters, and sometimes it doesn't always work. But I do, I do quite enjoy them. Do it. What movie you had high expectations but left you disappointed? Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That I actually was quite looking forward to that movie, but that movie really surprisingly disappointed me. I did not expect it to be as mediocre as it was. That was a shame, really. Thank you, Jared. Oh, this is. I'm convinced that this is one person on multiple channels. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I think potentially a soft reboot. I don't know if I'd completely ignore what's happened, because it would be cool to kind of keep within the same timeline. I mean, maybe if that timeline still counted, but it was rewritten, so something happened, maybe because of what Matt Blanderson does, it actually causes a paradox, or it kind of erases part of a timeline, and then a new one's made, and that's how these new characters are here. Maybe, I don't know. There's a way you can do it. It should be an easy fix. I haven't actually seen Adventure in Space and Time, but I know it's on iPlayer. So when I get time, I'm no pun intended, I'm going to watch it because now all the Whoniverse is as much of it survives is on BBC iPlayer. So woo, BBC iPlayer. It's now the best streaming service for Doctor Who. Oh, for God's sake. There are so many assholes in this chat. It's unreal. Not the main subscribers, just the ones who keep threatening to hack me. Sorry about this, guys. I've never had this before. Not majorly. What do you think about the new series of Doctor being called Season 1? I'm actually okay with it, because I think, I haven't seen a lot of the Jodie Whittaker stuff, but I think from what I've heard, the show really needed a reboot or a break or definitely a refreshing. a refresh of where they were. So I think it's a good idea. Obviously, everything before still counts, so it doesn't really matter what you call it. But effectively, yeah, it's a new vision, and I'm glad Russell's back. That's to say the least. Right. This is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, I heard about that. I heard they added him in, so they've re-edited it. I'm really glad about that. So I'm glad I haven't, I'm glad I haven't actually watched it yet. So I'm going into it with fresh eyes, knowing that all the Doctors will be included, which is brilliant. And I did see the 60th specials with David Tennant. I liked them. I thought they were good. I didn't think they were fantastic. The bioregeneration thing is really weird, very weird. But great to see the toy maker back. That was brilliant. Mel coming back was nice, although not my first choice of companion to come back. But still, she's not screaming, so we'll give her that. David Tennant was great. I didn't like how they retconned the meta crisis. That was a bit stupid. How, if it was so easy to get rid of it just like that, why didn't you do it like that before, Russell? But whatever. It's it's fine. I think calling Donna's daughter Rose a little bit on the nose. I wouldn't have done that personally. But it was nice to see Wilfred for the brief time that he was there. Rest in peace, Bernard Cribbins. We miss you. The second one was good as well. The first one was good. I just thought they were fun. I would have liked a bit more references, I think, to the other Doctors, and including the other Doctors would have been quite nice. They didn't really feel like 60th anniversary specials. They felt like specials, but not the 60th. I was expecting a bit more of a celebration of the show, but it didn't really feel like that. But yeah, no, overall, they were good fun. And it was nice to have the Dr. Donna back. I'll say that. Yeah. Oh, hello. Welcome back. I mean, they kind of did Parasites in series 1 with Tom. If you remember that episode where Tom dies, a very emotional scene. He gets infected with the dodo parasite. So I guess it would kind of be a similar thing. But I wouldn't be against them doing it again. They found a different way to do that. But yeah, why not? Let's revisit that idea. Oh yes, Neil Patrick Harris was brilliant as the toy maker. The dancing was hilarious. Absolutely loved it. It's a new take. Like the original Celestial toy maker was very serious, if I remember. Very insane, of course, but very serious. This version was just fun, campy, a bit like the John Simmers The Master in some respects, but more loopy loo. Oh, bless you. That's very sweet to hear that. That's very, very nice. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert in filmmaking. I don't claim to be an expert in anything really. But if you do ever need some help or advice, I'm happy to give that. And you know, the first few things you make, they may not be the best things you're proud of, but keep doing it. That's the one bit of advice that you should give someone who wants to be a filmmaker. Keep doing it. I've got to keep doing things and learn more things and become better. You're not going to have the fanciest equipment in the world unless you have money. So unfortunately, there's got to be some level of compromise, and there has to be some level of sacrifice to how much time and effort you want to put in. So, I mean, good luck. Good luck. I'd love to see what you come up with, because I think it's fascinating things that people write in scripts. It's brilliant. Long may it continue. We have to be creative and fuel our creative drive. It's what we do. Yeah, good luck. Of the Nick, what do you think of if the Nick and Jenny Lewis timeline stepped in to be the Claudia timeline for the reboot? It would kind of contradict what was already done, because basically it was a switch, wasn't it? It kind of, reality did switch when Claudia was erased and Jenny replaced her, and then the Ark replaced the Home Office. So I guess what you're saying is it's kind of the reverse of that. So maybe there could be more to that rather than retconning that. We could go back to that and see maybe what, like, because he still had the photo. Cutter still had the photo. So maybe there could be a mystery as to, okay, well, if she really is erased from existence, why was the photo still there? Who knows? I know he rips up the photo, but still, it's there's there's potential to follow it. To the person that's trying to spam this chat, in the words of Buzz Lightyear, you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my bidding. Farewell. Yeah, I'm disappointed that an unearthly child is not on iPlayer. We have everything else, thankfully. But I mean, it is the first ever story, and it's not. I mean, it's not my favorite story of all time. God no, there's definitely better stories than that. But an unearthly child, it is the first one, and you would think that they would put it on there, but hopefully in time it will go back on there. No pun intended. But I think enough people have seen it now to sort of not worry about it, or enough people have it on DVD. So yeah, I think it is on Daily Motion as well, so you can catch it on there if it's a problem. But to be honest, it's not the best story in the world. But I choose to see the first story really as the Daleks. That to me is where the show really takes flight. An Unearthly Child really is as it feels, which is a pilot story. But the next one really feels like the beginning of Doctor Who. So I don't think it's a great loss. Right. Thoughts on Venom 3 being the last Tom Hardy Venom film? Fine with that. I didn't care for the first two, so I won't care about this one either. Could you see him as the Joker? Tom Hardy, or I'm not sure who you're talking about. Sorry. Did you have a good Christmas? Yeah, it was good. Thank you. Saw some family, had a rest. But then after Christmas, going back to work and dealing with this stress wasn't helpful, but there we are. Work stress. Any hopes for Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire? Not at all, really. I don't really care for the franchise that much. Have you seen Doctor Who Unleashed? No, not yet. But I was rewatching some of the old Confidential episodes. It's nice to know they put the old Confidential stuff back on iPlayer. I loved those, and the fact is they put the full length episodes, because I know on the DVDs they had the cut down versions, which were like 15 minutes each, because of storage space. So it's nice to know that they put the whole length back on. I was very pleased about that. So that's good. And obviously then they changed it to Doctor Who Extra, and then it's Doctor Who Unleashed. I mean, it's basically the same thing, really. I mean, there's no difference other than the name. So yeah, maybe I will watch Doctor Who Unleashed with the Shooty Gatwa episode. No judgment at all. Anthropomorphic animals, do you imagine the primeval characters would be? Oh god. Well, I don't know. I feel like Stephen would probably be a velociraptor because he's good at hunting. Cutter would, I don't know, he'd be one of the wise ones, maybe a brontosaurus. Connor would, I don't know, I'm not sure what Connor would be. I'm gonna need to come back to this. I don't know. I feel like Helen could potentially be a T-Rex. Maybe. She is quite aggressive. Not sure about the others at the moment. Oh, for God's sake. God's sake. Go away. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Well, this is getting ridiculous. So I'm probably going to stop this now because there's just nothing but the same spam coming on. And I have answered quite a few questions, and also my dinner's ready. So, but anyway, thank you guys for listening. Maybe I'll try and come back with another Q&A at some point if my channel's still here. But thank you very much for the questions, and Happy New Year. Please subscribe to Pajak Productions. I will leave the link in the description. Please leave me feedback. I would love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, let me know what videos you guys have got coming up with. I know that someone mentioned the Bond ranking, which I need to watch. So yes, I'll do that. And also to, I think it was LG Dino. I forget the name. Who was it? LBT Electric Dino. Good luck with the filmmaking. I'll stay tuned for that. But yes, anyway, thank you very much all for listening and for watching. And as always, I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya.